From Lions Clubs International, this is LQ, Lions Quarterly. Now, the fourth in our series of Centennial videos, Growth and Expansion.
For 100 years, Lions have combined their desire to serve with strategic expansion around the globe, making Lions Clubs International the world's largest service club organization. Lions Clubs International was founded in 1917 with 800 members in 9 U.S. states. Lions appealed to businessmen who wanted to network and serve their communities.
The standard embraced in the principles of Lionism attracts men of the finest caliber, who have the will to do and the means with which to build.
Many clubs, including the Denver Club, grew quickly. It began with 53 members in 1917. 2 years later, membership climbed to 200. Melvin Jones dispatched field reps to focus on forming new clubs. One of the most successful reps was G.M. Cunningham. He organized nearly 100 clubs in just a few years. By 1920, Lions expanded to 23 U.S. states and became international, with the Border Cities Lions Club in Windsor, Canada. 4 years later, membership grew from 6,400 to 36,000 and reached all 48 U.S. states. The first club launched outside North America was in Tianjin, China in 1926. Theodore Semang, an American practicing law in China, organized the club with the help of businessmen from China, Europe, the U.S., and Japan. In 1927, Lions established the Nuevo Laredo Lions Club in Mexico and a club in Havana, Cuba. At the 14th International Convention in 1930, International President Ray Riley called for
an aggressive campaign in foreign extension so that Lionism may have the stimulation of world contact.
Early on, several famous people were recruited to spread the word about Lions. Admiral Richard E. Byrd Jr., a member in Washington, D.C., publicized Lions on his trips to the North and South Pole in the late 1920s.
We carried the Lions flag with us to the top of the world and felt it the greatest possible honor to do so.
Later, another famous aviator and an honorary Lion, Amelia Earhart, became the first person to fly nonstop from Los Angeles to Mexico City, where Lions were holding their international convention. She congratulated the organization on
doing its full share toward the furtherance of the spirit of Lionism and international relationships.
Despite the Great Depression, Lions continued to cross borders, with new clubs in Latin America throughout the 1930s and into the 40s.
We're developing at the rate of about a club a day. You'll find them in some phase of activity for the community, state, and nation.
After World War II, Lions crossed oceans and political divides.
The Lions had the high ideals that could appeal to a group of young men just returning from the battlefronts with a worldwide vision. A group of young men active, energetic, enthusiastic, the doers of the earth.
In 1947, Lions expanded beyond their wildest dreams, becoming the world's largest service club organization. New clubs were chartered in Australia, Europe, and Asia. By 1950, there were more than 400,000 members in 31 countries.
Lionism is a tremendous force. As Lions, we are all going far beyond our political boundaries, building up a brotherhood among the citizens of our several countries.
Lions chartered clubs in South America, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia in the early 1950s. President Edgar M. Elbert called it the beginning of the glory years. By 1957, Lions reached all 7 continents, with the launch of a club of scientists at a research station in Antarctica.
Our association now has clubs in 91 countries or geographic areas of the free world.
Lions in Pennsylvania organized the first Leo Club at Abington High School in 1957. Within 10 years, Leo clubs became an international program, offering youth the opportunity to serve and develop leadership skills.
To me, it was the only service organization at school that I really wanted to be in because it was the only one that did anything that I really thought I'd like to do.
Birgitta Akestam, a Leo in Sweden in 1972, dreamed of becoming a lion, but she couldn't because she was a woman. At the state convention that year, her father Sten asked the question,
why couldn't we allow our women into our clubs? It took a long time.
È stato anche molto piacevole, anche con soddisfazione, perché abbiamo incontrato anche Lions maschi che ci hanno, come si può dire, confortato e che ci hanno stimato, quindi hanno capito il nostro lavoro.
At the 1986 International Convention, the vote to allow women fell just short of the required two-thirds majority. The following year saw a landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision.
A sweeping anti-discrimination ruling was handed down today.
The court ruled on a suit with another organization that women must be allowed to join such clubs. Lions in the U.S. quickly moved to welcome women as members.
We feel that it's certainly time for service club organizations in the United States and indeed the world to open up to women.
A few months later, International President Sten Akestam presided over the International Convention in Taipei, where Lions voted to open membership to women around the world.
There was a great roar in the convention hall.
I hereby accept membership in the Lakeview Lions Club.
Soon, women became the fastest growing group in the association. From the 1980s into the 90s, Lions chartered clubs in 36 new countries. A partnership between China Disabled Persons Federation and Sight First opened the door for Lions clubs to be the first service club organization in China.
Lions are able to get in is because we've been working so hard to help the people over there.
In 2002, Lions chartered clubs on the Chinese mainland. They've embraced the opportunity to serve. The 21st century has seen growth through specialized clubs.
Our campus club is rapidly growing. Our goal is to get over 100 members.
On campuses, in families, and in the workplace.
We are Lions from Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Hoorah!
Today, Lions Clubs International remains the world's largest service club organization, with more than 1.4 million members in more than 200 countries. Lions continue to grow and meet the changing needs of communities and the world as they move forward into their second century of service.
Yes.
Everybody has pennies somewhere in their house, whether it's in a drawer, in a jar, or under the sofa cushion, or in their car. There are pennies everywhere.
Lion Ted had a list. I don't even remember what the rest of the other things were.
The supermarket sweep is always fun.
Okay.
The flash mob at the donut shop.
Okay.
Anything there you think?
Well, that million penny thing looks pretty interesting.
I saw the million pennies, and I'm an old coin collector. And every coin collector I've ever met started with pennies. And the whole thing just fascinated me.
The Abington Lions Club in Massachusetts decided to turn their community's unwanted pennies into lucky ones with
the Abington Lions Million Penny Project.
Phil, bring us some more.
Club members were hesitant at first.
I thought they were nuts.
That's a lot of pennies.
Why don't they just collect dollars? Wouldn't that be easier?
But quickly got on board.
We wanted to see what a million would look like, and part of that was to get the whole rush about how cool it is to see something that's a million of something, and when do you ever get to do that?
So how much is a million pennies exactly? It's $10,000. Lions began reaching out to the community to find where they could make the biggest change. They decided on Abington Library, which needed iPads and large print books for patrons, along with technology upgrades for their public conference room.
There were definitely some benefits knowing where the money was going to go because the community got involved then.
Lions rallied children in local schools to donate their pennies at the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Look at all the pennies.
Where the fundraiser kicked off.
We got such an outpouring. They had their bags, they had coffee canisters, bottles full. Parents were then opening up their pocketbooks and purses and like, yeah, you can have our pennies.
We knew at that point, I think, that we were gonna have some success with this project.
The story sparked interest with the media, and soon everyone wanted to chip in their 2 cents. After the kickoff, the club began averaging 100,000 pennies a month and reached their goal in 8 months.
It's funny, you ask somebody to buy a $1 raffle ticket and they'll like think about, no, I don't want to do that. You say, you got any change you want to get rid of? Oh yeah, here. And they'll end up giving you $4 worth of change. It's like, okay, keep giving it, we'll take it.
I looked at some of the people in the Lions Club and said, what if we actually pull this off? Because I wasn't sure. What are we going to do with them? We have 1 million pennies, almost 6,000 pounds. You can't just throw them in the trunk and go up to the drive-thru at the bank.
We can't possibly have 1 million pennies come in through our bank. Who's going to carry these things? Who's going to count these things? And where the heck would we store them?
Rather than count out every single penny, Lions and the bank decided to measure and weigh the pennies into bags worth $50 each. The bags were stored at Lion Phil's bowling alley until they were transferred to the Abington Library for a huge celebration. There, they were arranged into a sofa display to thank everyone for pitching in.
When we actually got the pennies here and set it up, it looked more awesome than I think any of us thought.
Abington Bank covered the cost of counting the donated pennies and enlisted Loomis to donate a truck for moving all 1 million pennies from the ceremony to the bank.
I think that this project, in addition to growing community, will provide some wonderful services for our library patrons for a long time to come.
This was my first time using an iPad. It could be both knowledgeable and a lot of fun.
In retrospect, it was silly to even worry about it because when we decide to do something, it gets done. And the town rallied around it.
Everybody wanted to be part of something big, something visible, and something exciting. And that's what a Million Penny Project is, big, exciting, and fun.
Japan, a country where beauty and order, tradition and serenity come together. And this June, Lions will come together here for the 99th Lions International Convention.
We'd like to welcome all Lions members from the world to come to Fukuoka.
Fukuoka is one of the largest cities in Japan. Rich in history and culture, there are many sights to explore. It's known for its food, ramen noodles, hot pots, and fresh fish.
People in Tokyo even say that the sushi in Fukuoka tastes much better than Tokyo.
The convention is the best way to get a taste of Lions International pride. The annual parade brings nations together to feel the power of belonging.
How are you?
Meeting people from all over the world is so engaging, so wonderful.
The world is so big, but once you all get together, it becomes such a small place.
For almost 100 years, Lions have made a difference.
Plenary sessions feature world-class entertainment. The international president shares his vision.
今年度の私の会長テーマは Dignity, Harmony, Humanity.
International partners share successes.
Aren't we all born to reach up just like the athletes of Special Olympics? Aren't we all born to be lions in service?
And we celebrate our member nations.
My favorite part of convention is meeting other Lions and getting new ideas.
Why can't I use this technology
take it back and change it and tweak it a bit.
The workshops are all different, and every year that you come, you get to learn something new.
I'll just put service projects here.
It's always a nice time for everybody to network and hear about some of the similar challenges and find ways to come up with solutions.
What better way to launch Lions' Centennial Year than surrounded by thousands of lions? Don't miss the excitement at the International Convention, June 24th through 28th in Fukuoka, Japan. Send your story suggestions to lq@lionsclubs.org. Be sure to like and share LQ on social media. LQ is available on our website, YouTube, iTunes, and DVD. Thanks for watching LQ, Lions Quarterly.